Brother County 911, where's your emergency? Up in the shower. I heard gunshots. I took my wife's out of it.
Don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? You don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
She's gone? Oh, God. Shut up. Just...
At first glance, it looked like a happy family. But when detectives watched those recordings, what they saw took the case in a direction. Keith Johansson, the husband with explanations that never quite fit, and the child caught in between, whose future was decided long before he understood what was happening.
She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots.
This isn't just another story. This is a step-by-step journey into the minds and the evidence that would reveal the truth. Welcome back to the channel, where we take you deep into real investigations. If you want to follow every twist in this case, the surveillance tapes, the police body cam, the trial itself, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single chapter. Let's start from the beginning. It was Saturday, April 7th, 2018. Inside the Florida home, the Johansson family eased into the morning. Keith Johansson was still in bed. His wife, Brandy Salenza, sat with her 6-year-old son, Ryland, as he ate the cereal she had poured for him. Brandy had planned something big for Ryland today.
She had plans to go to the fair later with her sister Amber, and she had reached out to her.
They will be heading to the Flagler County Fair, something Ryland could hardly wait for. Then he bounced off to watch TV.
I love you. No, I do.
Somewhere around 9, Keith woke up. The house was quiet. Little had he ever thought he would have to call the cops a little while later. The morning felt easy, like life had decided to move in slow motion that day. For the couple, it was a fresh start. Money had just come in, and Keith had moved them into a new house. Coming back to the reason why the cops are here, a little later after Keith woke up, people from a local church rang the bell. They gave Brandy a pamphlet. She talked with them at the door. She waved them off and went back inside. Keith stepped into the shower, and that's when he heard it, the bang that changed his life forever.
Brother County 911, where's your emergency? Up in the shower. I heard gunshots. I took my wife's out of it. What happened? I was in the shower, and I heard some gunshots. Okay, I think that my wife accidentally shot herself. You think she did this to harm herself, or you think this was accidental? Any idea? Sure. No, I think it's accidental. Okay, is she breathing? She talking to you, breathing anything? Yeah, she's breathing. All right. She able to say anything to you? Say it.
The operator tried to guide him through CPR, but Keith said he could not.
Can you apply? Are you applying pressure to that wound? No, I can't. I just done it like that. I'm wet. I'm not sliding on my floor. You can't apply pressure. I can't see it. I got wood balls and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk.
His wife appeared to be surrounded by things, and he could not reach her. He did not move his wife. He did try CPR. The sheriff's deputies were called. By the time first responders reached the house, it was over. Brandy was gone. On the bedroom floor, 25-year-old Brandy Salenza was found dead beside a 9mm handgun. A quick check revealed what no one wanted to see, the 2 gunshot wounds to her chest. In another room, Ryland was watching TV. The boy had no idea his world had just changed. Officers guided the 6-year-old out, where his stepfather Keith was. The officers started securing the scene.
What's going on today?
Nothing.
You guys were talking?
Yeah, man, we got up. I took a shower. She just made her coffee.
Okay.
When I went to go take a shower, I heard boom, boom, boom. I got out, and she was laying on the floor with guns right next to her. And I was like, no. Okay. So I called you guys immediately.
What time did you
Hey,
guys
can
wake
you
up?
come to my house now? Because Brandy accidentally shot herself, and I need someone to get Ryland, and right now.
You guys arguing or anything?
Nothing like that.
Okay. So you got in the shower. How long were you in the shower, would you say?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Before the cops could turn to Keith, they first made sure the 6-year-old didn't have to hear what was about to be said. Ryland was walked out to a patrol car, where an officer stayed with him until family could get there. With Ryland set aside, attention shifted to Keith.
And I heard
5
boom,
minutes.
boom, but I thought it was a
How many
balloon.
shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. Then I heard this secondary shot. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately.
Where was Ryland at?
Ryland was in his room.
He was in his room? Was
Yeah.
he asleep?
He was watching TV, kind of in and out of sleep. Yeah.
Okay, so his room is separate from...
It's right next to ours.
Okay, but it's separate from where she was at. She didn't
Correct.
see anything.
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right.
Detectives wanted to know how many shots he heard. He repeated 2. At first, he thought it was a balloon. Then he saw her on the ground. That was when he called. Detectives moved through each room. They found several guns in the house. A shotgun, a rifle, a 9mm handgun, a .45 caliber. It was clear the house had more than one weapon within reach.
What kind of gun is it?
I don't know which one got her. Both 9mm.
Hey, sir, just give me a second. I'm talking to the spouse right now.
They're both 9mm.
That's where Keith's father pulled up. He wrapped his arms around his trembling son. When detectives walked through the home, they found nothing that looked like a fight had happened. The place was neat, just a regular family home on Felter Lane. Still, there was a tension in the air. Everyone seemed guarded from the get-go.
She's gone? Oh, God. Shut up, just
Shut it.
Sure. Sure. I don't want nobody to ever have a gun in the family again.
So now, with Brandy dead, officers had every reason to look harder at him. And when they looked harder, one thing didn't sit right. Keith said he had been in the shower when the gunshots went off, but the floors were dry. So was his hair.
Yeah.
So wet.
No.
So he was in the shower.
Yeah.
Detectives circled back to the master bedroom. 2 handguns were found near Brandy's body, almost facing each other, lying in a way that didn't feel natural. To the trained eye, it looked staged, as if someone had placed them with intention rather than how they might fall in chaos. The house itself revealed more. Wires ran through the walls. Cameras pointed at nearly every angle, inside and out. Every square inch of the property seemed under constant watch. The setup seemed over the top, even for someone obsessed with security. But when it came to the one room that mattered, there were no cameras. And when detectives asked Keith to hand over the footage, he claimed he didn't know where it was stored or how to retrieve it. Keith was brought in for questioning.
So, and you've been married how long?
About a little over a year.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've had yet. I mean, she was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, of course. But it was, she woke me up, she made breakfast, she had my back, And that's very rare. I've had one bad relationship before, and that was nothing like this one. I mean, as far as I know, we loved it, happy, we did things with kids, we did our thing. And we're trying to start a new life, in a new house.
But then came a different detail. He mentioned how she had this thing online, some flirting, but brushed it off as meaningless, as nothing physical ever happened. It didn't matter. But what mattered is his version of events. That Brandy had shot herself twice. That was almost impossible to accept.
So, up to today, what would you say was the biggest issue that you guys have in your relationship?
The biggest issue is she would just lie about stupid things, But other than that, I mean, the stress of her always wishing that she could add more to the relationship, as in, that's why she wanted to get a job. And I was like, it's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But besides that, I mean, we seem to be happy. I mean, like we'd have our arguments here and there, stupid little things. But nothing violent, never nothing too crazy, you know?
At this point, one of the detectives spotted something that changed everything. On Keith's pants was blood splatter. It wasn't the kind that came from kneeling beside her after she was already down. It was the kind that only appeared in gunshot cases, meaning Keith had been standing close when the shots were fired.
Immediately when I seen her down, I know that she had accidentally let off a round. And that's what I think happened. Of course, I don't know because I wasn't there for sure. But that's what I would think would happen. Why she'd be moving them makes sense. Why she did move them, I have no idea. Only she knows that. And that's the only thing that I can think of.
How familiar with guns is she?
She's newer.
Okay.
Newer to it. We've only went 4 or 5 times over to that range.
How familiar with guns are you?
Very.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
He leaned heavily on the idea of an accident, but the question is how a person can accidentally shoot themselves twice.
How often does it happen that somebody accidentally shoots themselves twice?
I don't know if she was shot once or twice. I don't know.
Well, you said it went off twice.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. If she dropped the other one, it happens.
Sure.
I have never heard of it being like that unless you drop it.
Right. Heard of it being like what? I'm sorry.
Like a misfire or whatever you call them, unless you drop it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only way, unless you pull the trigger again. I mean, that's just common sense.
So, according to him, she shot herself. The weapon hit the floor and fired again. The problem is, that might happen with a gun equipped with a hair trigger, but the gun in question wasn't that. There were too many cracks in his story.
And you saw 2 blood spots?
Yeah, but very, very, very little.
And was that on her clothes or on her body?
Her clothes.
Okay. And was the person on the phone, the dispatcher, telling you to do anything for her? Or
hold pressure on whatever you see, and I was even telling them, you can listen to it, as I don't see anything.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
So let me ask you this question. What makes you think she was shot?
That's a good question. The pops.
Okay.
The guns laying there.
Okay.
Besides that, I mean, one is to assume.
Okay. So you don't know for sure that she was shot?
No.
But detectives knew this didn't align. On the 911 call, Keith was clear that she had been shot. First responders heard the same certainty when they arrived. He had also urged family members to get rid of their own guns, a strange request for someone who saw no blood or gunshot wound. Finally, a detective leveled with him. As much as they wanted to believe his story, they can't.
As much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. So I want to keep our relationship open and honest, and I want to be able to respect you, and I want to be able to preserve the love that you have for Brandy, and I also want to give Brandy the justice that she deserves, and I think we need to have a harder conversation.
Go for it.
Is there any chance at all that something different happened that you have not told us?
None. Because that's what happened. I got no reason to lie, you guys. I mean, you guys are investigators, for God's sake. That's what I seen, and that's what I heard.
Well, I mean, you said you have no reason to lie. I mean, I'm not saying that you're flat out lying to us. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
What I am saying is that what we have at the scene
Okay.
does not add up to what you're telling us.
The detective made it clear this was the moment where Keith could have come clean, because from here forward, even if he confessed, the window of trust was gone.
But this is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us, because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story. And I'll get a lawyer and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay? And you are completely entitled to that.
Ask Ryland. I mean, that's all that happened.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up.
That night, Brandy's 6-year-old son was also interviewed. He hadn't seen his mother die, but what he did hear sent a chill through the room.
She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots.
When detectives told Keith what his stepson had said, he denied it outright.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams. At all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. She didn't scream.
Listen, dude, nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
I'm just telling you what I heard, man.
It didn't end there. Ryland also admitted that Keith told him to say his mom was alone in the bedroom when she died.
And I know it was nobody with her. It was just her.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah,
Who told you that?
my dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in her bedroom.
Thank you for telling me that.
The boy had been coached, and that was enough to show Keith wasn't just dodging questions. He was trying to shape the narrative.
I mean, if you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
You have a conscience, that's why. You love your wife, that's why.
So why would...
Shit happens in the heat of the moment. You're not a bad...
I would never do anything like that.
Accidents
and I
happen.
feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're gonna go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting at with it. I was
Not
like,
at all. If an accident happened,
Sure.
we are more than willing to listen to that. But what I'm telling you is what you're conveying as the accident that happened isn't the accident that happened. If something else happened that was accidental,
Sure.
we could lay that out and I would be happy to listen to it. I am not saying that you're a murderer.
No.
I am not saying that you're a bad person, but what I am saying is with my training, my experience, and the crime scene, the accident that you're laying out isn't the one that happened.
Well, that's what I seen. When I came up, that's what I seen.
Later, Keith's father joined him in the interview room.
I think she was trying to maybe
She was reaching
fix
out.
the bed.
Why
Because
would she even have a
my
loaded
weapon-
gun in the first place?
my weapons were in the bed,
Oh.
in the side. So if she took them out to move them, she used to do that all
But
the
why would
time.
why would there be 2 shots? That's what doesn't make sense.
It hit the floor.
Why would those guns don't just go off by hitting the floor, Keith?
I don't know.
I know you don't know, but they don't go off by hitting the floor. You have expensive guns, they wouldn't do that.
No, only one of them has a safety.
It doesn't matter. That trigger'd have to be a hair trigger to do that.
One of them is.
Which one was used?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm not grilling you. I
No,
mean,
but they
your dad,
haven't told me.
I want the
They
best.
haven't even told me much then. You know more than me.
Well, I don't know anything either. They wouldn't tell us anything.
I mean, it's like,
They won't let Ryan go with anybody until the child services make sure that he's not severely traumatized.
Sure, but
He didn't see her,
you
did he?
don't know.
Even his own father struggled to make sense of what happened. In the end, Keith wasn't charged that night. He walked out of the station a free man, not under arrest. Detectives needed evidence against him, and that's when the wheel of justice started to spin. 2 days after the interview, medical examiners found 2 bullet wounds, but one wound was caused by a rubber round. It struck the center of her chest. Rubber rounds can hurt. They rarely kill. The second shot hit her in the chest too. That was the fatal shot. A 9mm round tore through her into the drywall beside the bed. Detectives wondered why the rubber bullet. Then they remembered what Keith told them in the interview.
And all my other guns have 2 or 3 rounds in them that are rubber.
Oh, what?
Just for, in case something, you have a misfire or whatever. If someone was to rob us or whatever, I don't want to kill them. I mean, honestly, I don't want to kill them.
Sure.
I just want to prevent them. That's what they're made for, less than lethal. It's made for preventative reasons.
First, the rubber round hit her chest, and then a real 9mm bullet hit her again. Now it was time to determine if she really shot herself. The answer came from the crime scene technicians. They analyzed the angles and distance of the bullet trajectory, and according to them, one shot was fired at close range. The other came from about 3 feet away or more. Brandy could not have shot herself twice from those positions. This was a homicide. Keith became their prime suspect. But this still doesn't prove he shot her. They needed hard evidence against him. For that, the detectives tracked the camera system. They cued the recordings from April 5th through April 7th. There was no footage of Keith shooting at Brandy, or of any shooting at all. But what the footage had was just as damning. On the night of April 5th, he smoked meth from a glass pipe for 5 hours. All he did in that window of time was berate her nonstop.
That's what made you and become a lion shooting and slut. I will never trust you again. Ever. You might as well just get out of my life. Do yourself a favor. I want to just hurt you and be safe.
He convinced himself that Brandy was cheating on him, chatting with men online, sending photos, and touching herself without his knowledge. The surveillance videos reveal a pattern.
You don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? Yeah, you like me as a
No.
father figure. You don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
But fish hooks in it. Because it's not worth nothing now. Not in my eyes. My man, you shoot. Oftentimes. And only a stupid, cheating scumbag son of a make that same mistake. The wrong person, dude.
But Keith was obsessed with the idea that Brandy was doing these things behind his back. That obsession turned to rage. And soon, he was threatening to kill her again and again.
You would be what I did. You drove me to think about it, man.
Brandy curled into a ball and just cried. He ridiculed her. He told her she was done. He was convinced she was cheating on him, and he clearly threatened her to kill her on camera.
My life, my wooden years.
The footage showed the warning signs. It showed the rage. After hours of abuse, he ripped the camera from the wall. That's why the master bedroom had no camera that night. That one corner where she died had no record. 2 days later, Brandy would be shot in that exact spot. The detectives then fast-forwarded to the day it all happened. On that morning, Brandy and Ryland woke up first. But the tenderness of that moment quickly vanished when Keith woke up in a bad mood. He appeared on the same camera at 10:33 a.m. He picked his jeans off the floor and put it on. Then he tried to start a fight with Brandy, but she stayed calm. She was planning to take Ryland to the fair that day and didn't want any drama. A minute later, she picked something up from the floor, then walked back toward the master bedroom. That was the last time she was seen alive on camera. By 10:37, she was dead. The only space without a camera became the very place where her life ended. The same camera also captured Keith on the call with 911, roaming around the house. He told the operator he was checking on Brandy, but the cameras showed something else. He was hiding drugs in pipes. He never tried to save her. He kept insisting he was slipping on the floors, but the footage showed he was neither wet nor slipping. The camera recorded him running around the house until the first responder arrived. Detectives decided they had seen enough. Keith was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, but the prosecutors saw clear evidence of premeditation. That was enough to raise the charge to first-degree murder. But Keith wasn't done talking. From the jail, he began spinning new versions of events. Keith was convinced his neighbor was the killer, but when detectives reminded him of his own words on the day Brandy died, that it was only him, Brandy, and Ryland in the house.
And there definitely was nobody else in the home, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Me, Ryland, and her. That's it.
Still, Keith didn't stop there. Months later, in a call to his mother from jail, he tried again. He suggested that maybe Ryland, Brandy's 6-year-old son, had pulled the trigger. His mother wasn't convinced. Ryland was only 6. The stories kept changing, but the truth had already been captured on camera. But cameras couldn't read her mind. He convinced himself she was fantasizing about other men. In his head, even that was cheating. In his warped logic, it justified killing her. As his trial came closer, he tried a final card. He claimed he couldn't remember what happened the day Brandy died. He wanted the court to believe he was unfit to face trial. Doctors ruled him competent to stand trial. On October 26, 2021, the trial opened. The prosecutor told the court what the jury would see. The threats were on the home surveillance. It was a premeditated murder. Then, defense gave the jury a different story.
Ms. Salenza was killed in self-defense.
Keith took the stand. The prosecution has built the case for first-degree murder around the fact that he moved the camera a couple of days before Brandy died. He had an explanation for that.
I moved it back into where we had it at first, and that is right in my computer, by my computer, which is in the front room, by the couch and coffee table, right adjacent to that.
Okay. So we saw from the 7th some recordings. Was that where you put the camera at the end of the...
No, sir.
Okay. So was that some other location? Did it at some point in time get moved to the area that we see on the 7th?
That same camera?
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. And where did the camera that was on the dining room table, where did that come from? Or had that already been there?
What it was is I had a bunch of them that were just I just re-maintenanced them and got them all like really charged and stuff. And I put them in a bowl that was on the dining room table. And I put one on the outside of that, and that must have recorded everything.
Okay.
He said the couple had been awake and using meth for days.
What were you mad about at that time?
Some infidelity. And we were on meth too, so it kind of raised the aggravation, I would say.
He claimed he stopped, but Brandy kept using. He said she had been up for days and not herself. He said he heard her call his nickname in a strange, urgent way. He said when he went to her, she looked through him and said he was not her husband. He said she held a weapon and he feared for his life.
So she's standing there. What is she doing with the gun?
She has it like this.
Okay.
And she's looking at me, but it's like she was looking through me.
Okay.
He said he grabbed a gun to disarm her.
Well, I went towards her, trying to, bark commands, hey, put it down, put it down. And I got almost right to her, and she went like this with the gun, so I went off her and it popped.
He said the gun fired during the struggle, and then another shot went off as he backed away.
And then when she was swinging, I was getting away from her. That's when I let off, that's when I let off a round.
Okay, she was with the arm's length then of you the first time. You said you pushed off of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
He told the jury he fired in panic and in fear, but the story he told in court clashed with what he had told first responders. In court, he tried to explain why he wasn't wet when first responders arrived. According to him, he had just stepped into the shower when the gun went off. The bathroom floors were dry. His hair was dry. He was never in the shower. Nowhere to run, he finally admitted he had lied to the cops because he panicked. It was a neat little answer. It fit the panic line he wanted the court to buy. So, he had lied early on because he didn't have a lawyer. The prosecution replayed the home videos. They showed him ripping the camera from the wall. They showed the threats. They showed the moments before she walked out of view toward the room where she would die. Medical reports, blood splatter analysis, and the bullet trajectory work all pointed to one thing. One shot came from close range, the other from several feet away. The trial lasted only 4 days. Keith was sentenced to life in prison, no parole. Keith Johansson tried to control everything, his wife's movements, her words, even her thoughts. He wired cameras into their home, carried guns to feel secure, and stacked lies on top of lies when detectives closed in. But in the end, all that control slipped right through his hands. The cameras he thought would protect him turned into evidence against him. The lies he thought would shield him only exposed the truth faster. And the family he claimed to build ended in a courtroom verdict that will keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. Control was the one thing he wanted most, and control is the one thing he lost forever. Ryland will not grow up in that house. He went to live with his biological father. If you want to dive deeper into stories where evidence, lies, and human behavior collide, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next case we unfold, step by step.